Good afternoon, all. Welcome to our launch of the new show called The Restoration of the African Mind. My name is Brother Kofi. I'll be co-hosting this show with Brother Nana, as you can see there, and obviously our main lead contributor to this show, Brother Kwaku. So if you both want to quickly introduce yourselves, then we'll proceed from there.
Brother Kweku. Many know me as Ras Kweku also. Yes, so this is going to be very important for us as a people because our mind need to be restored to its original state. So I'm looking forward to be a part of this with these two wonderful brothers next to me here.
It's a great pleasure and honor to be part of this show, mainly focusing on the indigenous knowledge system that we initially had from our ancestors to bring that back to light. It's going to be a fantastic show, and we are ready to launch.
And just to add to both of their commentary, it's also a show to enable those who need a platform to kind of air their views of certain things that maybe they've kept in a closet for such a long time. Maybe some of the things that we'll share will provoke some of the curiosities that you've had for a long time. We don't want it to be a show where we are just the ones that are contributing to the show, but we want a broader range of views into the show. Right. So shall we kick off then? So, very quick, you understand?
So from time to time, I look forward to having guests, brothers that have indigenous knowledge, brothers and sisters alike, because this is not just about brothers, it's about the whole. It is about anywhere on the continent that you are. You are invited to be a part of this because it's a restoration, so this is something that, as I said, it's very important for us to do, especially at this time then the African mind is awakening to its original state. So we have to help each other come together to form this bond of unity, to strengthen our nation as a people and to strengthen our communities, to strengthen our family. This is what we need. This is what we have been waiting for. So I am looking forward to all of it.
Absolutely, couldn't agree anymore. As I say, we need to actually know who we are. You've got to understand and know who you are in order to know where you're going and what your mission is on this earth, what you're ordained to do as an African. No matter where you are anywhere across the globe, you are an African first. And that is going back to roots, going back to basics, and coming out of your true root character to know who you are, to know your duties on this earth.
So I think, to begin the restoration of the African mind, there are three layers or three mechanisms that have kept us trapped into this state of conditioning. One of them is to decolonize ourselves. By that, what I mean is to remove ourselves under the influence of colonialism, in terms of the enslavery of our people and in terms of the psychological influences that colonization has had on our people. We also need to look at the religion that the colonizer imparted upon us, Christianity, and then Islam, which through the Arab slave trade was also imparted upon us. And then we need to decommercialize ourselves from the system by which has put us under this state of conditioning, which has impoverished us as a people. We cannot be impoverished people. It's impossible with all the minerals and resources and all that we've been naturally blessed with on the soil. But we've allowed another, to take control over our means of production. And we need to take control back into our hands in order for us all to prosper as a people.
Yes, so you're saying, along these lines, especially with the religion, I think, not really even that I think, I know the religious aspect is the most dangerous one that we have as a people. Sure. Because it is what helped to hold us into this mental enslavement. Even after the physical enslavement is over, sure, it is still holding a lot of our people in the mental space. So we have to release the mental chain from our people's mind, that they can open their eye and see what is going on. So these are the subject that we are going to be reasoning on. Of course. And that's why we are inviting our brothers and sisters to come in. If you have your questions, there is answers. Yeah. And so we are here to help you clear your mind from all of these
the muck, so to speak, that this European has created in you. So we have to remove that. We want clarity on all the different aspects of this.
Essentially to unfold all the narratives and to actually help you and guide you along this path which you may find a bit strange, yet it's not strange. It's a whole family of us, a whole unit of us who are like-minded, and we invite you to join the platform and air your views as well, share your knowledge, and we can actually all learn together collectively as we move forward on this plane.
I think it's also important that this show also creates the avenue for the youth, and we speak very loudly to the youth who have the mindset to be flexible enough to see alternative viewpoints of what has become the entrenched view of the world. So we appeal to the youth and those who have curiosities, those who are not sure exactly why this world is shaped up in the way in which it is. How did we get here? And you have your own questions that you want to ask. Please do so. We want to help, create a better, economical outlook for the youth. Where there are, high pay jobs. There are highly skilled jobs and all that they can actually, use their wonderful talents and all that to deploy. So we very much want to reach out to them, and any of them that would like to call in or send us messages and all that, we'll be very happy and honored to answer their questions.
Yeah, so I'd like to really reiterate on the youth calling. The youth, we're here for you, okay? Call in, any answers, any questions you got, we got the answers for it. I can't stress enough. From Ghana, where we are at the moment, in Colano, even how my dream, bisa, mumbra show so. Many years, Germany, and Yanano, in Christianity can be in your line, she, your bet, Econia Kabaya, Yaba, sure, or answers what about, or film what you and what dashing, what blam, near finger nutrition. And see, your home, we're here for you. Don't worry, any language, we can handle it.
And that is beautiful, my brother. And I'll tell everyone, we as three brothers sitting here, we get together because the ancestors wanted this.
Yeah.
The universe has put it into order for a very long time, and we knew that the day was going to come. Even though we didn't know each other from a long time ago, the spirit has brought us together. And, it brought us together in a very unique way. And that we give thanks for. But as you brothers rightly say, and I've been saying it for many years, it is the youths, because they are the future.
Yeah.
So we have to pave the way for them. All of this, it is up to us to pave the way, because they are ready. And as you can see right now with most youths, they don't care anything about religion because they've seen what it has done to their people. And I have seen what the commercial aspect have done to our people. I'm not sure all you brothers have seen the same thing. And one of the things that they try to do, they try to drive us away from farming the land that we can support ourselves with food and all these different things on a commercial level. So if all of us as Africans get together and start to farm and let our children know, don't run away from that, because it's one of the most important aspects of life is farming. Without food, where are you going to? No matter what kind of degree you have, no matter what kind of position you hold or station, without food, you basically are lost because you're going to die for hunger. So these are the things that we have to make straight, and we have to get our people to understand and understand the importance of these things.
Sure. Yeah, totally agree with Brother Kwaku mentioning about the importance. It's very important that we do reclaim our lands. Our lands are in possession of a foreigner. Whether we like it or not, economics have dictated that they now have so much access to our lands, so much control over our means of production. They determine everything. We cannot live in destitution when we've been blessed abundantly. So we need to understand, and revert back to the former state. So what predated all of this system that we're under? We existed before this system, and we had our own naturalistic ways of existence before this occurred. So we need to start reverting back. Or for those who do not know how we were before, this is what this program will hopefully help enlighten many of you to start gaining that indigenous knowledge system that is so pivotal in driving this forward.
Yes, indeed. You know, that is vital. And also from a holistic point of view, we know what the medical system has done to our
Yeah,
people
for
and all
sure.
these aspects that we
Sure.
have to change. We go into our indigenous ways,
Yeah.
right? It is also dealing with the natural herbs, the natural plants.
Exactly.
These are the things that we need to realize, because we realize that even their medicine is destroying us
Of
as a
course.
people.
Of course.
They didn't create medicine.
No.
You see what I'm saying? They tell us all these stories, but when we went to where we left off before enslavement, we realized that these were all lies that were told to us, that were taught to us, that this person was the father of medicine and all these
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
things, when they had no idea.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? And so we have to get away from a synthetic way of life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everything is synthetified.
Yeah.
All the indigenous herbs, they take them and they mix them in with their synthetic products that they created in the lab and all these different things. So these are the things that we have to focus on, and we have to get our people well, because our people are dying from all these diseases that are not necessary for them to die from.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we uncover
Yeah.
all of these things that our people are suffering from. We must uncover them, and we must show our people the truth.
For sure.
That when you go to the way of life that your ancestors was living, you will be fine both spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and every wise that you can think of. You will come to that place and you will see the real you, because most of us, we are seeing a fake. You are
Yeah.
seeing a fake you, not the real natural you.
Yeah.
You see?
I agree. Another dimension to this is, things like foreign aid that comes from a lot of these westernized countries and Western institutions, and the loan system, and that has the Chinese have taken advantage of, and then you have the World Bank and the IMF who are using all these draconian measures and all that just to keep stealing and pillaging our assets. We need to try and take control over what is ours, because what they do is they take it, they reparcel it, create a product and all that, and then resell it back to us. And the crazy thing is, it's your own materials, raw materials that they're creating into these products. Then they're selling it to you at some extortionate price. At the same token, we are the biggest consumers of all these items. So every single strand of people are taking advantage of us, So we need to start taking control, do for ourselves. We don't need them to be in control of every aspect of our lives, So let's begin that journey. Let's try to look as to what existed before this period. We cannot be dependent on another who's not interested in us whatsoever. The only interest that they have is just to keep on pillaging, keep on exploiting, keep on taking advantage of us. Because of our humane nature to all people, every other strand of people has taken advantage of that. And we need to move away from that and realize that we cannot trust anyone. We don't even trust ourselves, so we've got to begin trusting ourselves first before we can then build that consensus to move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, there is an uprising of us, and once you know yourself, who you are, you cannot manipulate it anymore. They cannot steal from us what is rightly ours, because don't look at today, look at the future. So at the end of the day, selling and giving away what belongs to a nation, to your ancestral lineage, is karma that's going to come back to you. So I make it very clear that when you are on this journey, this plane, there is an uprising, as I said earlier on. Don't think you can join and still be easily influenced. When you know who you are, you cannot be influenced. So it will be interesting to really have loads of you on board to share your ideas as well, and we can join this plane together.
I think just adding to what Brown and I know what they're saying. We're not expecting it. Everyone's journey of enlightenment is different. And some are more advanced and some are not as advanced. But we're all on that same journey. We're all going to end to that destination. For all those who have begun that curiosity and do not really understand where they fit into this world, we're all on that same journey. Please feel free, raise any questions. However stupid it may sound to you, it is not. We all have to start from somewhere. We didn't end up just being in this position that we find ourselves in today. Things have happened to us in our lives and all that for it to provoke this new version of ourselves and all that. So we understand that it's not easy in this system that has been entrenched for so many years to get to unravel it and bring yourself out of the system in order to see it as it is. So don't be too hard on yourself. We know that it takes a while, but so long as you're willing to take that journey, we're here in support for all of you.
Yes, and one of the things that as a people we have to stop operating in fear.
Yeah.
Because fear is false evidence appearing to be real.
That's it.
Always remember that. Fear is false evidence appearing to be real. And as long as they keep us in fear, then we're not going to do anything. We are in fear of nuclear weapons because we say they have weapons that we don't have. So we are in fear of all of these things. So we need to remove all of this from our everyday thinking. So these are things that we need to do in order to get our minds right. We as a people, we need to learn to sit and we need to meditate. We have to stop being afraid of all of these things, thinking that our ancestral ways are bad. No, that is not so. So we must change our mindset. That is what I'm saying. That is the most important thing, is to unlock the mind. Because we become lazy in our mind because it's not being used. And that's when you're using the mind, you will start to see things moving. You see, because you use the mind to move things. Without using the mind, then someone else have it, and someone else is influencing you and have you as a puppet in their system that they can make you do whatever they want you to do. You see, so it's important that we put these things aside and realize that nothing, no weapon that they form up against us will prosper, because we have the universe on our side, we have the ancestors on our side, and we have nature on our side. So what I'm saying is, we have won this war already spiritually.
Yeah.
It is coming to the place of the physical.
Yeah.
And we must deal with it. You see,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah, Brother Kwaku's right. Anything that's been man-made, it's not going to stop the spiritual retribution that will come. And so we as Africans, indigenously, are the most highly spiritual people on the face of this earth. But we've been lost in this whole program of religion. Religion does not have the underpinning of spirituality. Spirituality is a completely different thing. And we need to revert back to our spiritual self in order to be able to take control over this world. This world, we are the first people in this world. We'll also be the last out of it, irrespective of all the things that we've been subjected to. But we need to wake up, and wake up fast. We need to wake up and wake up fast. And that's all that we are trying to provoke out of our people. At least wake up and try and make sense out of what you think is going on around us, because we've been in this vegetable state for quite a long time, and the time for awakening, the time to be asking the questions is now. So do not fear.
Just to go along with what you say, when you really look around and you see how the world is falling apart, the world is really reaping what it sowed.
Yeah.
Basically, that is what is happening. So again, in this aspect, while the world is falling apart, everyone is noticing all of a sudden that us as Africans are coming together. We are connecting, which the whole world didn't want us to connect. They try everything to tell us that, oh, these ones over here don't like you, or this and the other. The same people push the narrative in every aspect, no matter where we live, in what they call the diasporan. I call it the liversporan because we are not dying. The thing is that, so for us as a people, we have to learn now and come to this place where we learn to live together in unison. You see what I'm saying is, it is harmonizing. It is good. For instance, we weren't born knowing each other.
For sure.
We were in different places, but still the same people. And look what through these mediums that they create and think that this was going to further push us apart, but it brought us together. You see, so whatever they do, that they try to use it to destroy us, is the same tools that we will use to unite ourselves.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Brother Quaker is right. I think the diaspora and the indigenous Africans who are living here, we are all one of the same people. Whatever you think you may be, you are an African. And that's not going to ever change. You know, you could live in the disguise of the Westerner and you know, speak his language and behave, you know, similarly to how the Westerner behaves. But when they strip all of that aside, you're indigenously African. You're no different to someone here in Ghana, to someone that is over in the West, in the US or in the UK, and all the other places and all that we find ourselves to be. So let's not look at ourselves with the lens of that we are different. We are not different. You know, by virtue of where we've all grown up, we've built different mindsets to things. But ultimately, we are one people that are we migrated in different parts of the world, or we've been forced and been taken to places that we didn't ask to be there in the first place. So it's we need to take a different mindset to how we see each other. Rather than the constant gridlock and barriers and all that we've placed, or we've allowed another to put that barrier to keep us dispersed away from each other. So it's important that we find a pathway where we can connect more strongly with each other. Then we can have, you know, a program whereby we can all see the vision, we can all see where we're all going collectively as a people.
Absolutely agree with Brother Kofi there. I mean, I say don't always fall for or believe the narrative that they give you. Wherever you are across the world, you are an African. Make it a point, at least for a lifetime experience, to travel to the African continent. Go for your holiday trips on the African continent. Connect, reconnect with your brothers and sisters, and you will realize that we are one people. We have beautiful landscapes, beautiful, beautiful destinations in Africa that they prevent you from visiting to understand and overstand and also see the beauty of what nature has given us, where you came from. Yes, you were taken away to further fields, but now the chains are off. You can travel back and see where you came from. So I urge you all to just travel, come and join your brothers and sisters. They're waiting for you with open arms. Come and invest, come and actually build your empire here. It's all here on the continent. And I really urge you to take a trip to come and visit, and we will welcome you gladly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. And for me, I've come here for some time now, and I have no regrets. It's the best thing that I ever done for myself, really. In all truth,
I'll second that.
I have gone to many places, you know, and I tell you the truth is, no place that I've ever been has done the same thing for me as coming here. You see, because, you know, when you didn't have knowledge of yourself, it's a very dangerous thing not to have knowledge of yourself.
Sure.
But I tell you, the moment that I've come into knowledge of myself and I learned truly how to love myself and to accept myself, these three things make the whole world of difference in your life. That's why they said, when you know the truth will set you free. That's the only way you can be free. And if you notice, I didn't even say freedom, because I don't want any freedom. I want to be free. I don't want any dumb at the end or any of that. The truth is going to set you free. The statement didn't say the truth is going to give you freedom. No, it says the truth is going to set you free. This is what I'm saying. So we don't need to add anything on to that.
Sure.
So when I tell my people, until you learn to love yourself, I remember how to love yourself. Because our ancestors, they loved themselves. And they accepted themselves. That's why they were able to do the great things that they did. Sure. You see, because when you know, you don't have to believe anything.
Yeah, that's right.
You see? So yes, know thyself. That is vital for all of us as African people. And that is one of the missing ingredients why we haven't been able to unify ourselves as a nation and as a people.
That's right. I mean, in conversations with Brother Koku in the past and all that, he's emphasized about, that we're living in an age of the no. It's not a belief anymore. Everything is unearthing itself. So there is no better time to get to know the things that you've been uncertain about. There's so many tools out there, some good, some bad, depending which way you use it. The internet is there. There are a lot of brothers and all that who are also enlightened. And they've got platforms and all that you can go and listen to some knowledge of oneself. And this is not going to stop, because more and more of us now are becoming awoken. And that's the fear that the oppressor now has, is that the more awake we become, the less control that they are able to exercise. And we can see that in Europe right now. We can see that in America right now. They're losing grip, The signs are there, So there's no better time now to start trying to get the answers to the questions and all that you've probably had lingering along for all these years, And it's also important that, the parents of many of these youths and all that also start trying to open their minds up a bit more, because you are influential on your children. And I know that, you've also all come from a history of, establishing these norms that have become an accepted norm, but we all need to open our minds a bit, if we are going to rise from this destitution that we've been through all these years. So I also urge some of the parents and all that, if you are also curious, we're very happy to engage with parents and all that as well.
I mean, this is not a religious movement, so whatever you want to call it. This is you being yourself, being free, open-minded, just allowing yourself to actually flow, have these doubts you've had inside you, these urges, this confusion, this not knowing where you stand in society. You know who you are when you look yourself in the mirror. However, when you come out of society, you portray something different. You hide behind a mask. Be yourself. This is a platform for you to be. Be yourself. Be you. Ask those questions. Let's dialogue. Let's exchange ideas. Let's actually, share information. Let's be united again. Let's be strong Africans again. Because no matter what, African first. You're African first. No matter what. And that's what we need to remember and go back to that system. The indigenous knowledge system, I call it. We need to harness that strongly. We will be so powerful. We are powerful people. Let no one tell you otherwise. So we welcome you to the show, and it's going to be a beautiful journey.
For so long, the problem that we've had is for so long, the benchmark of success has been pitched against the white person. The benchmark of beauty has been pitched against the white person. Everything that is supposedly to be good is benchmarked against them. We have given so much powers for them to determine everything in this world. And the question that we need to ask ourselves, how do those powers and all, how do we give those powers and all that way? Where everything of success or of beauty or whatever it may be is benchmarked against them. We existed before these people came along. So if anyone should be setting the benchmarks, it should be us. We should be the trailblazers. We should be the trendsetters, not the opposite way around. These are the newest people in the world that are now controlling every aspect of our lives. So, let's try and get a sense of what we've been like before, before we fall deeper and deeper into this psychotic episode that we've been under.
I tell you, from one last point that I want to make right now, and I think a lot of people are not aware of it yet, but it's coming down the pipeline very soon. They are getting ready to change a lot of things in this book called Bible.
Yeah.
Okay? They are getting ready to make God like almost what you call a he, she.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That is going to be changing in your Bible and in your religion very soon.
Yeah.
Because of this homosexual agenda that they are pushing.
For sure.
So now they are trying to say, God, mother, father.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you see, there is nothing in this aspect ever was there to fit the African into any of the narrative of this book.
Exactly.
But you imagine some twisted views that actually could change the dynamics of this book. And then these same people have to accept that and still go into this place that they are worshiping this God that they know all their life supposed to be some kind of a male figure.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying is, but now it is changed into something else. You see what I'm saying? So now they are saying God is non-gender. You see what? So I'm just saying to our people, as you talk about the religious aspect,
Yeah.
I'm saying to our people, let these things be something to trigger you to say something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
And we need to find out what it is that is wrong in order to change it.
For sure.
Because it is essential that we see that. And it is actually eye-opening for anyone who sees something wrong before but didn't know what it is. This should open your eye and make you think.
I think because we're getting closer to the truth, they're now trying to cover their tracks.
Yes.
You can't hide the truth.
You can't hide the truth.
To unveil itself. So
You know.
at the end of the day, the truth is in you, and you know the truth.
Yeah.
So it's a case of actually speaking the truth. Don't be scared. Take fear out of your. It's an illusion. Once you're fearless, life becomes limitless. You can actually fly, untouchable. You got to believe it and know it.
Yeah.
That I am.
Yeah.
You know, and once you have that, the truth will be everywhere.
Yes.
You know, fear
Everywhere.
is the biggest driver to restraint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because all it does is it just stops you from doing anything. So you live in a world where your perspective is very limited. You haven't broadened your scope of the world. The world is such a broad place with many different experiences and all that to be had. But fear is what holds people down. And fear is what's kept us where we are so far. They've used religion to sort of subjugate our minds, subdue our minds, to rebel against the condition or the dehumanization of us. You see, they've played a psychological, brilliant game.
Oh, yes.
Let's give them that.
They play the blind.
The game has been played very well. You know, we'll give them that. But now that some of us are coming to a state of awakeness, we have to turn this game around. You know, it's been played for long enough.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the game.
Game over.
Game over there.
Game over.
Yeah,
This is a new uprising now.
That's it.
New uprising.
Yeah, you see, because and I agree with both of you, because you see, the revolution starts here.
Yeah.
Revolutionizing my mind first. Realizing that I am suffering from trauma. The trauma that was suffered through my ancestors was passed on to me. So now I am working on it. I am working on getting rid of all these trauma that is within me, because your enemy will never give you nothing to reclaim yourself. He will never give you anything to recover yourself. And so even this religion that he gives you is not to reclaim yourself or recover yourself. It is for you to think a way that he wants you to think and believe a way that he wants you to believe. So I'm saying to you, revolutionize your mind by start to think. Don't think about the books that you read in school or what you read in church. Come from within yourself. Listen to that voice that is in you speaking to you. Stop hiding from it. Stop running into the crowd, run to the nightclub, run to everything that is not you, but run on the inside. And anything that you're hiding from, deal with it. And once you deal with it, because like some people say, oh, slavery is in the past, colonization it's not in the past. The past, the future, and the present is happening at the same time. You see what I'm saying is, our ancestor is within us and we are in them. So the thing is that what we must do now is come to this place where we recognize what must be done and do it. Stop being afraid, because it's fear why people don't want to talk about what happened.
Correct.
You see? So that false evidence, let it go. It's not worth anything. It can't stand up to anything that is there in front of you. So fear, let it go. That's all I have to say as regards to that.
I think you know, we all suffer from an inherent trauma.
Yes.
Which, you know, predates our existence in terms of in the flesh.
Yes.
You know, but the spirit is still dwelling from generation to generation. So at times there's certain things that we are experiencing internally, but we don't understand why.
Yes.
Why we're feeling the way we are. Why we feel lost in the world. You know. And so don't feel like you are, there's anything strange about you. There are many of us in order that have gone through those very same experiences where you're having an internal fight with yourself because you can't seem to find your position in the world. Or the position that you see yourself in the world isn't what you anticipated you would experience. You know, it is all part of the trauma of all of this. And we have to start working on ourselves and all that first, you know, before we can be in a place of reasoning with others who also are like-minded like we are. So, you know, the works are not easy. No, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they are easy, but you got to start from somewhere. And you will get to that place where you start to see this world for really what it is. So there's no better day than today to start a journey.
Absolutely, and as an African, never get too comfortable, as Brother Kweku rightly said, about when you're in the midst of people telling you, oh, it's in the past, oh, slavery's in the past, it's all gone. No, it's not in the past. It's never in the past for an African. It never will be in the past. It's in the present now as we speak. If you want to do some research right now as we speak, your mobile phones, your cell phones, your electric cars, where do you think that cell's coming from? Congo. Google it right now. See how many kids are going on, dying. See how people are killing themselves. It's slavery. It's not in the past. It's in the present. Right now, it's happening. We need to protect the African. We need to protect what we have. So don't fall for that. It's in the past. It's not in the past. It's inherent in them. When they decide to strike, they will strike. But are you ready and prepared to defend and protect? So whatever you're feeling inside you, as Brother Kofi rightly said as well, don't think it's strange. It's not strange. It's your ancestors inside you coming out, trying to wake you up, trying to inform you, trying to make you assertive and alert and sharp, trying to get you to be that leader that you're meant to be, the warrior, the king. Go through history. Look at African ancestral history. See how great we were. You are that person. It's back again. It's coming in the form of a different vessel, which is you and I. So we can't let them down. Too much blood has been shed. I don't want to get too emotional about this, but it's something that I'm passionate about. We all are. So feel free, dialogue with us, join in, give your views, your ideas, and let's actually be assertive and awake. Let's restore that African mind. Let's restore it back.
I couldn't agree more. I think, you know, Brother Nana has really passionately put his views and all that across there. We're all, you know, very passionate. You know, we love our people. You know, and unfortunately, we've been living in a world where we haven't loved each other enough. You know, and let's begin to start loving each other. You know, we'll find more commonalities between us than we'll find differences, because we are one of the same people. But we have to create the space for us to start coming to a place of reasoning. You know, to do things in a spirit of harmony, because that's what the oppressors done. Is that they worked in a harmonious way amongst themselves and all that to place us where we are today. So that's also, so what we have to learn is that even though we're being subjected to these dehumanizing treatments, we have to also learn what they did to get us here, because we will also have to use similar measures, you know, to revert it. Yes. So we shouldn't sit idle, and we shouldn't be too willing to befriend them, because there's nothing in history that has told me or told Brother Kweku or told Brother Nana that any of these people are our friends. You know, if these people did not have the positions, the privileges that they have today, they will be exactly the same barbaric people that they were in the past. The world is exactly where they want it to be now. So they can now play this sort of peacemaking characteristics and all that they display, but they're not our friends. They never have, they never will be. Let's awaken ourselves from this illusion that they've spun in front of our very eyes and minds.
And make no mistake, as Brother Kofi rightly said, you know, they may mix with us, walk with us. Yeah. I like, oh yeah, he's my friend. I've known him for a while. He's, you know. Yeah. But don't forget, their ancestors is still in them.
Of course.
Wakes up in them, you know, and those are working ancestral traits that they have, elders, pump and raise them up not to be soft. Mm-hmm. So therefore, if our ancestors are waking us up and coming back into us, it's not a weird thing. It's for you to be assertive. It's innately built in them. They can't help it to be barbaric. to be evil. You understand? So your ancestors waking you up, their ancestors are waking them up. Remember that. You understand? Remember that. So when it's time to wake up and stand for your own, I mean, look at your mother who birthed you. And I'm talking from a black ancestral family here. Africans. Look at your mother who birthed you. What complexion is she? Your mother, where you came from, who kept you for 9 months. Remember that. Before you start thinking, oh, they're not this. No. Anyway, I'm not going to get emotional, but I'm sure there's a lot of brothers and sisters that will really join this subject with me and air their views. And I look forward to it.
Yes, indeed. One of the things also, you see, what they call love is emotionalism. What we think is love is emotionalism. And as Africans, these are things we need to get away from, because growing up as an African, your parents don't have to tell you that they love you.
Yeah.
We don't need to hear that.
Yeah.
Our parents usually demonstrate to us that they love us by the things that they do.
For sure.
Your mother makes sure that you're always fed, well clean, and she's going to protect you just like a hen protects her young ones. That is what your mother do for you.
Yeah.
You see, and the African father, he will make sure he defend his offspring. So what I'm saying is they don't need to tell you, oh, every minute, oh, son, I love you. Oh, daughter, I love you. Oh, honey, I love you. And all these things. We don't need to do that. Africans demonstrate love. Africans don't just shoot the word love out our mouth, because using that is nothing but what you call emotionalism. That is why when people say they love each other and they split apart, they want to kill themselves. That is emotionalism, not love.
Yeah.
And that is the true fact of life. So these people got us twisted. You see what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
we understand that we're not always going to agree to the fullest extent. But because of the kind of people that we are, if we have to separate from each other, we realize, no, you're not my enemy. And we don't treat each other as an enemy, but we just not going to. And most of why our relations don't work out today is because of the same people and the state that they put us in.
Yeah.
Once we get rid of that, then you will see more of us flourishing as a family
Yeah.
and as a nation.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that we must do, and that's why we want everyone to come on board, and we're going to support each other, because, as I said, you're seeing unity, and we are about unity, and we are about the things that we need to be about, and not everything that we are going to do is going to be on camera.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we have to invite you in by means of social media.
For sure.
So I look forward to these dialogues. I look forward to the unity. I look forward to getting together with my people.
That's true.
And make it happen.
That's true.
There's too much isolation globally, as we know. Living out in the West, as you know, you're isolated.
Yeah.
You can't even dialogue with your brother or your sister on the road. Sometimes you say hello to your brother or your sister on the road, they look at you weird. But it shouldn't be the case. We are loving, caring people. We need to show respect to each other, love each other, protect each other. You know? And that's the way the ancestors want us to be. To unite, defend, and protect each other. So let's show that love to each other and connect. You know, that's the only way. Social media platforms have been laid for us to connect as Africans. Let's reconnect and dialogue with each other. We can share ideas, we can share photographs, images. I mean, I'm here in Africa on the continent, and I'm happy to share beautiful landscapes with you, wherever you are across the world. Let's show each other what we're about. I want to be the eyes for you, the voice. Let's just show that unity.
You know, I think, you know, for those that are living out in the diaspora, or liverspora, as I'm corrected, because they haven't died. We know how alienated so many of you and all that have. You know, so many of you might be going through. Our traditions, you know, have never been of people that live in an individualistic way.
Absolutely.
Before all of this and all that, we lived in communities, we lived in tribes, we lived in clans. They separated all of us, that we're all living in their world in complete and utter isolation from one another. You know, like Brother Quaker was saying, that they need to remind themselves of the expression of love, because it's not really innately in them. we already have that innately. That's why we can see each other, especially here in Ghana, for example. You find that there's that connection with each other. We don't have to speak, but we know there's brotherly love or sisterly love in order for one another. You are not going to find that in a diaspora. However much you try to convince yourself that it's there, it's not. You know, so we've been through this process. We've been in that world. You know, we've all come home or come to a place where we sense that we belong to, and the experience of it has just been completely transformative. It really has been. It's changed my perception. It's changed my views of life, and it's almost like I've woken up from a mental coma. A pretty serious one, because I think I was under a very deep program. Like a weight has been lifted off the mind, the body, and the soul. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Thank you for watching the first show. There'll be many more of these shows in order in coming forward. Please, give us your feedback, your thoughts, any which ways that we can make the show more interactive, because it's not a show for us, it's a show for you. So we look forward to engaging with you all very soon. Thank you.